Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Dynasty. What I got for y'all today, yet again, is another Injustice 2 video. Now, today we're going to be talking about some recent questions that were answered by the guys over at Another Studios yesterday during the Watchtower live stream. Of course, if you guys missed all the Watchtower live stream, I got a list of highlights uploaded yesterday. I want to say I uploaded like 9 videos, so if you want to see some gameplay for The Flash, Captain Cold, and Bane, all of that is here on the channel. Go check it out. But nonetheless, guys, we're going to break down all these questions that were answered. We talk about the story mode, talk about some DLC, we talk about Grodd being showcased next week, not to mention a bunch of other things as well that's worth noting. So of course, if you guys would just take 1 second before then, drop a like in the video. Takes literally 1 second. Dropping a like helps me out a ton. Of course, if this video gets 500 likes, that would be absolutely insane. So now that we got that out of the way, let's break down all these answers to the questions that were asked to the guys over at NetherRealm Studios yesterday during the Watchtower live stream. So first things first, DLC characters. Now you guys know we're gonna get 9 DLC characters inside of Injustice 2 through the season pass. Of course, one of those DLC characters would be Darkseid. Now there is some controversy of whether or not Darkseid would be one of those 9 DLC characters, or if he'd be the 10 DLC characters. Not to mention, all of you guys want to know when we're going to know who these DLC characters actually are. Now, you guys know back in Mortal Kombat X, before the Combat Pack 1 DLC characters were even released, we knew all 4 of them like months in advance. That seems to be the case going on for Injustice 2 as well. So here's the Twitch highlight right here. Bam!
From Skinny Puppy 9000, will we know the 9 DLC before launch? It's a very good question. If you're pre-ordering, of course. I'll say this. Keep watching. You're probably going to see a couple of DLC characters confirmed closer to launch.
Yep.
And let me just go over something real quickly, too. With your pre-order with the Ultimate Edition, people have been kind of confused on what you're going to get. You get 3 premiere skins: Reverse Flash, Power Girl, John Stewart, Green Lantern. You get 9 DLC characters.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
And exclusive shaders to God and Demon, which you may have seen on stream at some point.
I have a question that we've been asked.
Okay.
Does Darkseid count towards the DLC characters?
No, he's a 10th.
Right.
He's a 10th.
Right.
Yes, he's a pre-order character. Yes.
So let's make sure we go out there and we do some pre-orders.
Yeah, so really, there are 10 characters.
10 additional. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. By all accounts, it appears that some of these DLC characters are going to be revealed before the actual launch of Injustice 2. So within like the next month or so, we're going to know a couple of these DLC characters. That's pretty exciting because you guys do know Red Hood is not on the main roster. I'm really hoping he is one of those characters you see on display before, of course, like I mentioned, the game is released. So that's some pretty exciting stuff. Not to mention the clarify there. They clarified that it's going to be 10 DLC characters, including Darkseid, not 9, including him. So yes, 9 other DLC characters plus Darkseid. And moving on to, yet again, another question that was answered. Now, you guys do know, Poison Ivy's been a character that's been revealed for quite a while now, but we don't see any of her gameplay whatsoever, apart from small snippets inside the Here Come the Girls trailer. Now, what's really cool is there's actually going to be a Poison Ivy live stream taking place really soon. Not to mention, Gorilla Grodd is also going to be on display next week. So here is that clip right here.
Ivy gameplay. Everyone wants to see Poison Ivy, and we understand that. It is in the schedule. It is not next week. Does that mean we'll have to stream next week? It does.
All right.
It does. The next week, though, we will be Ivy.
Oh,
Yep.
So 2 weeks from now, we're seeing some Ivy.
That is the plan, right?
Yes.
Next week, we have another 3 characters to show, and it's one that people has been in for a long, long time.
Flash.
We're doing that today.
I am off on everything.
So, yeah. So it's one we've been seeing for a while that everyone's like, when can we see this character? You get to next week.
Which character is it?
It's Gorilla Grodd.
So in 2 weeks or so, expect to see some brand new Poison Ivy gameplay on display. Not to mention, of course, next week we got Gorilla Grodd alongside 2 other characters on display inside a brand new Watchtower. As for who those 2 other characters can be, I think one of them might be Aquaman, and I think the other one might be Deadshot. I saw Tyler Lanzon mentioning that Deadshot was a character they had in mind to showcase, and Aquaman has not been showcased either at all in any of these Watchtowers. There's been 6 of them, and he's been revealed for quite a while now, so I'm going to assume he might be really soon as well. So that's, those are my guesses. If I'm wrong completely, I'm sorry, but nonetheless, no matter what, you got Grodd next week, and of course, you got Poison Ivy in 2 weeks. Now, moving on to yet again, another pretty important question that was also answered. Somebody was asking about there being like a game mode where it's like, you guys, know how when you have gear edits your character stats. Now, the cool thing about gear, though, is that there's also abilities, and he was wondering if you could play in a game mode where, of course, the gear doesn't count, so all the gear is just like obsolete. If you get that reference, you're amazing. So all the gear just does nothing, but you can still use abilities from the gear, and of course, that was actually answered right here in this clip. Bam!
A lot of people are asking this too. Is there a mode where abilities count but gear does not? No. Gear and the abilities is all the same system. So if you're turning gear off, you're turning abilities off too, because they are the same system. That's how it's going to work.
Unfortunately, the only way you can use certain abilities is by using the gear as well, so there's not going to be a game mode where you can just use abilities without having the gear mess around with some stats. So yeah, it's going to be competitive mode where nothing counts whatsoever, or you use the regular mode where it's like the gear and both abilities do make some changes to your character and all that stuff. So yeah, kind of a bummer if you're not looking forward to that, but me personally, I think it'll be okay. I'm looking forward to having both like just straight ranked gameplay where you don't got to worry about any of the stats, than having a game mode where it's like everything, like abilities, stats, etc. So yeah, that's some clarification for that if you were wondering. And last but not least, story mode details. Now the guys at NetherRealm Studios actually touched base on a topic we talked about back in December that originally got mentioned for the first time way back when. I made a video on that a long time ago, and they actually went a little bit more in depth this time around and brought it up again. And without further ado, I'll play it for you guys. So here is some brand new story mode details as well. Not to mention, there's no tag team mode, but that's also been confirmed for a while. So here's the clip.
This is a question for everyone too, asking if there's a tag mode. There is no tag mode in Injustice 2. No. Just letting you know. I think... Oh, the story. This is fun. A lot of people haven't heard this yet. People are asking, how long is the story? It is longer than Injustice 1.
Yes.
And it is longer than Mortal Kombat X.
So it's pretty long.
It's a long story, and there are some chapters. Well, you know how we do this, where we play a character through, and you play a character through.
You're going to tell them this?
I'm going to tell them this.
You shouldn't tell them this.
I'm going to tell them this. There are a couple chapters, not going to tell you how many, where you actually get to pick which character you go through the chain with.
So you may actually want to replay that chapter?
Because you can play with two different people.
What?
And maybe there's more than one of those.
Groundbreaking.
That is all we're saying right now.
Moving on.
So there you have it, guys. It's now confirmed yet again. They brought it up where you can actually have this feature where it's like, I'm gonna assume you can play as like the regime, you can play as the insurgency, or of course you can play as the newly revealed society members inside the campaign, where it's like, say you want to play as Captain Cold throughout like one aspect of the story mode, say you want to play as the Flash, say you want to play as Wonder Woman. So it's a pretty cool aspect. I'm glad to see that they're innovating the way they actually do campaigns inside NetherRealm Studios games. Not to mention the story mode for this game is meant to be a lot longer than of course Injustice 1, and it's longer than MKX, so it's gonna be a pretty long story mode. But guys, that is all I got for y'all today. A bunch of brand new questions answered by NRS. Hopefully this clears up a lot of questions you guys have been having lately. Of course, though, if you did enjoy the video, please take 1 second to drop a like on it, subscribe for more Injustice 2 content. Until next time, I've been here, it's been Dynasty. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.